Welcome and good evening to my little show, to that one person who's watching right now. Thank you. Do not adjust your television. I know there's no video. There is now. A lot going on in the world, and I'm not actually here to talk about that. Everybody's doing enough yapping and talking about that. By the way, this episode brought to you by Yangling Lager. And maybe shout out to my homeboy at the Hudson Valley Prepping and Survival, which a couple interactions that I saw going on in our Facebook group are actually what inspired me to kind of work up a concept of what to talk about. I did not articulate this well. I didn't script it. I kind of had an outline of what I was going to try to say. If you've ever seen me try to do this before, you know that that's going to take me a long time. I'm going to have to really work through this, not only for your sake, but myself, to try and make sense of what my actual issue was and why I even felt compelled to speak on it. And been noticing a trend amongst us preppers and in the community where not everybody, it's never everybody. It's always somebody, and it could be anybody. There's a bit of an arrogance and a holier than thou, not a complacency, but I understand, what you reap what you sow. So if you don't prep, knowing full well that everything is going on and the things are what they are, that those who did will sort of shun you. They'll say, I told you so. Well, too bad. Hit the bricks, son. I don't know. I got nothing for you. What do you want me to help you now? It's not everything I'm about to say. I can answer for it. Really, what I'm doing is I'm going to ask a bunch of questions that I feel need to be asked. Probably what I should have named the live stream. Instead of need to be said, it needs to be asked. Are you really going to be that callous kind of person? You're being the person that you want to be a role model. It's about community and helping out and teaching and passing along knowledge. But then at the same time, I see that in the YouTube chat, but then I see in the Facebook group a little bit of not that. Now I don't know if that's just people being edgy, edgelording in the Facebook group and trying to be funny. Nuance and context don't come across well on social media unless you do it right. You drop a meme or a GIF or something. You're look, I'm joking here. There was one in particular where they were talking about the entire post was not given to us, so there's some shit I don't know about it, but essentially in the context of what I saw, it was someone getting ragged on because preps are indeed expensive. They cost money, and from what I could infer from the limited context was that this person didn't have a lot of money and was in a battle with social services over their food benefit stuff. Somebody was well, in this context, they could have been growing food this whole time. And I'm well, you can't just let your kids go unfed. You can't just what are you gonna, I said in the group, as a matter of fact, I'm not ashamed to say, my comment was, well, I've decided to not eat for 3 months while this garden matures. I don't do the whole hate on the less fortunate thing, because unless you are them, I wish you just wouldn't speak of it. And I get some people rob the system. Some people take advantage of programs and stuff. But in this case, here was a person who came to our community and was I don't know, asking genuine questions. I don't know. Like I said, we didn't see the entire context of the interaction. But so what I saw though, and so would anyone else who comes to the group, is that here was a person who came to this group of knowledgeable individuals with perhaps the skills to help her solve their problem, and was instead mocked and you should have prepped up. Okay, that sucks, man. Is that the image we're trying to portray as preppers? We went from being like, I know we was called extremists and we're called like, batshit loons and every other thing. And it's like, not. But then you perpetuate the stereotype when you act like that. And then we went from being the downtrodden, like losers getting called names to now we're the ones calling the downtrodden losers names. It's not fair and it's not right. So that what started me down this path here. Prepping. And why do you do it in the first place? Some of you are maybe here to watch me be funny or something. I mean, I'll try, but my subject matter tonight is not exactly dark, but it's not exactly funny either. I wanted to really make a point, and it's hard for me to do that, okay? So stick with me. Now, why do we prep? All right, now what's the basic core reason you would prep in our definition of prepping? Making preparations to, survive an otherwise outward event that causes your way of life to be disrupted in a way that is detrimental to you, unless, of course, you have taken steps to mitigate that, such as so-called prepping. You've put away a supply of food, you've secured and or stockpiled water, and, you've taken the steps to ensure that the way you do things, or you can at least stay fed, hydrated, and sheltered for an extended period of time without outside help. That's a better way to put it. Let's go with that. But why do you do that, though? And it's another thing that I've noticed folks do that you don't have to do. This isn't an indictment. I'm not accusing people. I'm just going to point something out that maybe didn't occur to you. What you're prepping for is just that. A circumstance occurs where you need to rely on yourself because outside help is unavailable or not forthcoming. It doesn't matter what the event is. It doesn't matter if it's a solar flare, it's a weather event, it's a nuclear exchange. It could be something very personal that really just affects you or people, you and or the people who are close to you. A house fire, a sudden death in the family, a situation where now outside forces have made it where you are in need of extra resources and can't afford them. This is where prepping comes in. You don't have to walk around wearing camouflage with a K-bar strapped to your hip. Or be you can tie knots like a sailor and you know how to pitch a tent. It's just as simple as you just don't know what, it's not even tomorrow, what next hour will bring to you. The prep is for your life and to preserve that and of those that you care about around you. It's not wearing some brand. It's not I'm focused on, global catastrophe when if for no other reason that's very, very slow in coming for us here. Whereas a personal situation, you get evicted from your apartment, you got 2 kids, you lost your job. Number one right there. Okay, lost your job, you have no income. You have food and supplies that you can live off of and not have to spend money that you potentially don't have. Prepping is for everyone because disaster, tragedy, and bullshit affects everyone at some point. One in the chat if bullshit has never affected you, because after that you got to tell us how you managed that one. So don't be rude to the greenhorns. People are gonna come. They're gonna ask ridiculous questions. They're gonna you're gonna be you've got to be kidding me. But I don't want to see people responding to. Can we just assume that these are legitimate questions? People don't walk into a space they don't know and ask dumb questions. I mean, okay, yeah, they do. Customer service or people are yes, they do. I'm I know. All right, that was the wrong way to put it. But we shouldn't treat every simple question as an excuse for mockery, talk down. You should have done your research. You should have prepped. Shoulda doesn't get you anywhere. Shoulda is useless. Yeah, we all should have made better decisions in our lives, but someone who didn't came to us and asked advice and was told they didn't want to work and they just want their food stamps, and it's pay close attention to how people talk about the so-called less fortunate. I consider myself one. I don't mock people. I don't much have super big love for people that have like huge money and don't like help anyone but themselves, but it's none of my business what they do with what they earned or however it was they got. It's still not my fucking problem. The only thing I can do is worry about what I earned and what I'm going to do with it. There are circumstances that happen to people where they can't earn, they can't make their own way. It's called, maybe it's being disabled, maybe it's being downtrodden, maybe like life gave them lemons, and I go, I'm gonna make lemonade, okay? So easy for everyone to judge, which it's my holier than now comment at the beginning. Prep movement, much to my surprise. When I first got here, I did not expect as many religious folks as there are. But then as soon as I saw, it made sense to me. A lot of folks believe like we're in the end times, like, and the apocalyptic like events are at work here. And it's easy to, it's hard not to. But then understanding like who these people are supposed to be and like the code they're supposed to uphold, I noticed that a lot of times they can be the ones so quick to judge, so quick to reject, so quick to banish outside thought about stuff. And then it brought me to an even harsher question. One that I was maybe a little afraid to ask, but I'm gonna anyway, in pure ignorance, okay? This is an honest question. For the religious folks who are so sure, why you bother prepping? If it's all God's plan, and there's nothing we can do about it but buckle up and hold on for the ride, what's the point of worrying about it? Or, and again, legitimate question, I'm not mocking, is that the message you've brought to us? Is it's out of our hands, don't bother. I found it like a little, I was trying to reconcile like how a lot of times like it's these folks who will be so intolerant, so unwilling to turn the other cheek. I don't know. Like I said, I'm here to ask questions, not answer them. I'm not here to mock and make fun of anybody, because like the entire point of this video, the reason I even sat down to do this was that our community is not the one that should be mocking people. We are not the ones who should be judging people. We are not the ones who are like, should be making that name for ourselves. Let actual asshole groups of people, militants and white supremacists and anti-Semites and every other, all these bad people that deserve the rap that they get, let them eat that stuff. In my interpretation of the holy book of Hudson Valley prepping and survival is that prepping is for everyone. And everyone that doesn't do it is another person lost to your community, your humanity, your species. So easy to, if people won't do their research, if people want to be complacent, there's only so much you can do to wake them up. Mocking them, making fun of them, dropping spicy memes on their timeline won't change anybody's mind. If you didn't learn that already, I don't really know what you're still doing out here. Like, you can keep dropping your propaganda all over my timeline, and you can keep mocking this group, that group, the other group for how stupid they are, and okay, fine. But who are you talking to? You're not friends with those people. They're not seeing your message. I am. And what ends up happening is that you take a message that I would kind of like believe in, but then you pound it to death and turn me against it. And make me want to mock you and make me want to call out your beliefs. You're so sure. And so, that door swings both ways. When you're going to be like an edgy lord on the internet and like be cool, like know it all, I just hope you do. Or maybe somebody like me is going to come along who maybe doesn't know, but is going to ask you that question that you can't answer, but I thought you were so sure of 5 minutes ago. In that regard, current thing, current thing, TM, copyright, registered trademark, current thing. People always got to pick a side with the current thing. I stand with the current thing. I'm not doing that current thing. Hell with that current thing. And it's got to be one or the other. And there's a strange group of us anymore in the middle that are like, I don't care about the thing. But thing can be a catalyst for a situation that causes you to need your preps. So it's mindful to pay attention to the world, get a grip on what's going on. It's another thing to beat it to death. And it's another thing, talking about judging. Now I'm going to move right on to hypocrisy. So many, profanity alert, motherfucking people stand here in my face, fist in the air, fucking, I don't trust mainstream media. Nope. They lie, they cheat, they steal, they make it up. It's fake. They're lying to you, they're making an agenda. They're pushing an agenda. It's you. They're pushing an agenda at you. And then these same motherfucking people post nothing but that shit all day long. And I need to know, what validation are you looking for, brother, sister? What words of, like, you need like a pat on the back. You'd be like, do you need me to like, yeah, you did it. Good job, buddy. Because, like, again, who are you talking to? To a bunch of people who agree with you. There's no fucking point. That is what's called an echo chamber. You ever heard that term thrown around? That's an echo chamber. A bunch of fucking parrots repeating what the other one said. Yep. What he said. Yep. What he said. Yep. What he said. What he said. No new ideas. Stagnation. Utter stagnation of whatever mental fucking acuity you had to going in there. It's all gone. And you're just all a bunch of... You sound like fucking bunch of autistic, like, people who can't get over current thing. Let it go. You really want to help? Send money. Volunteer for the armed forces. Go join the Peace Corps. Get medical training and go volunteer your services. I don't know. But you know what's not helping anybody at all? Posting the same stupid fucking shit on the fucking internet all fucking day long. You know who's got to look at it? You know who has to filter this shit? Me. I sit here and read every one of you's retarded shit on Facebook, and I'm like, man, that's the dude who said he hates the news, but there he goes. He likes that Fox News. So I think what he meant, he just doesn't like CNN. Like, see what I mean? Always got to pick sides. Don't talk to me. Unfriend me if you watch CNN, liberal. Do you hear yourselves, guys? And anymore, it's like, you don't hear this shit from the Democrats. You don't hear it. The so-called Democrats. Look what they're doing. Destroying America. They're doing it. Stop participating. I don't like paying taxes, then don't go to work. But no. Please, instead of like direct action, and instead of addressing your specific grievance with the current political and social climate, please, what I need you all to do is go find some jackass on YouTube who is parroting the exact opinion that you want to hear, idolize and worship this person, and please, I need you to just post nothing but that to Facebook all day in the name of hashtag doing something. It will change the world by like the end of this live stream. If you guys could just go find the most, just flood it out. Like I need the opinions that all agree with each other. And then you got to ask yourself, you're in your little group, you're in your circle of friends, you're in your community or whatever, but you're all saying the same thing. That's why you can't progress. You need new ideas. If you constantly cling to tradition, I get it. I get tradition. You got to have that too. Tradition and progress need to hold hands and walk forward together. Some of the most awful shit in history has been blamed on heritage, culture, and that kind of stuff. And it's usually Tribalism is like one thing. We're not going to get too philosophical. Racism is a twisted form of culture, of racial identity. It's ugly because it leaves out the personal context. It's very easy to point at a group of people, like I said before, as preppers or as maybe Republicans or Trump supporters. You know what it's like to get called names just because of who people think you are. Now, to burst your bubble, snowflake, that happens to everybody, and we do it back to them too. You see somebody with an electric car, what do you think? Fucking liberal, right? Immediately, stupid, duh. Good luck. Can't wait to see you having to charge your electric car with the diesel generator. Listen, these people just thought the fucking car was cool and bought it. But you're out judging me. You know them already. All you did was see their car. So don't be what you don't like. You gotta think about it. Other people out here acting a fool, but doesn't mean you have to. Eye for an eye comes to mind. Just because it's hard. All right, somebody's an asshole to you, it's very easy and in fact instinctual to automatically be one back. You know what really fuck them up when you're not? You want to really get at somebody, just don't eat their shit. They serve you that shit, they're like, here's that shit you ordered. You're like, no, I'm good. And they're left standing there holding a plate of shit that nobody wants, and that's how you get through to people, honestly. No. It's when you feed into it. Someone made a valid point. They were like, the reason a lot of you right-wing guys see all this LGBTQ, drag queen, story hour, pride parade shit on your newsfeed is because you're the only ones that react to it and pay attention to it. Normal people, just let it go by. Oh, wow, what the hell was that? Y'all gotta stop. Read the article. Leave a fucking thumbs down, angry react. Fucking leave a comment. Do you realize you just shared and commented and subscribed to that shit? And you're like, why do they keep showing me this shit? And they're like, my brother in Christ, you keep reacting to it. We all know that bullies won't stop until you ignore them. So if I hate to thinly veil a homoerotic reference here, but maybe all y'all just stop looking at drag queen story hour shit, and the algorithm will stop showing it to you. Did I just say something there? So I had a lot more out than I thought I would get here. Like I said, I didn't walk in here with a plan. I had a concept. I really want to just touch on stop judging people. It's in that book. It said just don't do it. And then the super cool dude was let him who is without sin come cast the first stone, and then no one stepped forward because they couldn't. We forgot about that kind of thing, and it's easy to say, well, nobody else is doing it, Livingston, man. Why should I have to participate? I'm playing a rigged game against cheaters. I get that. What I like to think about this kind of thing, though, is that, well, then if you're allowed to make up your own rules, then do that. And in the absence of an example, then be one. So, like I said, when someone wants to serve you a plate of shit, refuse it. Who said you had to eat that? And if you do, you got nobody else but yourself to blame for what it tastes like. What the hell metaphor that was, but thank you, I made that up. Stop judging people. Keep a more open mind. this is not about politics. This is not about current global economic, any of that shit. This is about right here at home. This is right here, at home, in here, and in here. It's so easy to get caught up and be shitty because everybody else is doing it. That's cattle. That's herd mentality. That's assholes run wild nonsense. And for the sake of our Facebook group, let's keep it civil and friendly. We all intend, or at least say, that we're community out here. We're all brothers and sisters, and struggling against a common adversary, right? But then shitty little divisions like that can really push things. It turn people off to stuff and make them be like, oh, fuck those guys, It's not what we're here to do. We're not here to be like better than somebody else. We're here to pass along. If someone comes to you and asks you a question, it's because they already think like you're quote unquote better than them at whatever they want to know. There's no, you don't got to sit there and, make them know that. All right. So just keep that in mind when interacting with folks on, at least in our group. However you want to get crazy on social media, that's your own thing. Post the memes, the nudes, the outrageous, share whatever you want. The lost pets. God damn you people. I can only steal so many of them. You cannot keep sharing the pets and letting everybody know. Too much heat. All right. I have a side hustle here, and you people are really stepping on my toes with this. My dog is missing. I know he's fucking missing. I know he's missing. But I love all you guys. Every one of you, and most of you I haven't met. And I love you too. We're all in this whole fucking stupid rock orbiting the sun in the heavens. Whatever your interpretation of it is, we're all still right here together. On a larger scale, can't we all just get along? In a fucking course not. A fucking course not. There's no way you're just going to be like, I fucking hate that guy. And everybody has that person. And they're like, no, I am not dealing with this fucking person. Nobody said you had to. But maybe think, what if? What if you had to? What's your real beef with the person? And a lot of times it's actually you. It's you who is reacting and feeling a way about something. Like someone's annoying you. One, maybe it's just who they are. Two, maybe they would, like, if you were like, bro, you like chew with your fucking mouth open. Seriously, I don't know if anybody ever told you that. And for all you know, nobody ever told them that. They'd be like, Jesus fucking Christ, I've been chewing my mouth open. But maybe that's all it takes is to be like, hey, man, you chew with your mouth open. Instead of hating, like, why is that dude, like, fucking grilling me for 5 days, bro? And, like, nobody tells you it's because you chew with your mouth open like a slob. You know what I mean? Honesty is key. Honesty does not have to mean cruelty. And it's also very easy to be mocking, to make someone feel stupid, be sarcastic. I do it all the fucking time. But again, I'm just going to keep coming back to what I see going on in our little online community here. And there's a lot of dick swinging going on. I'm cooler than you. Like, do you even jackery, bro? Come back when you fucking have a fucking solar generator. Don't speak to me. Like, we don't need that elitist bullshit. All right, who are we? Who are we? We ain't the shit out here. You, me, we ain't the shit out here. Okay? Motherfuckers like Canadian Prepper and them, they like the shit out here. Okay? Like, we ain't the shit out here. Yeah, I said it. I fucking said it. In terms of his reach, in terms of his influence, in terms of his ability to get people to do what he says, there's the shit out here. It's unbelievable. Do I want to be him? No. I care less. If people did what I said, I would be suspicious of those people. I'd be like, Jesus Christ. It's one thing to watch Canadian Prepper videos, another thing to watch fucking Livingston Man videos. I don't know, man. I want us all to just come to terms. Like, there should be a kind of a code amongst us. Like, we don't shun the newcomers. We don't... Tough love is one thing. I get it, newbies. Haze them a little bit, but... outright hostility, like, we can't be doing that. Can't be doing it. Cigarette goes out one more time, we're going to see some outright hostility. It's so you don't burn your house down. Yeah, that was my number one worry. I was going to burn my house down with a cigarette, like I'm going to fall asleep. But you know who does that? It's for another time. I'm not going to tell you who does that. I suppose you guys can hear me and whatnot. Yeah, I somebody said something about reading the comments. I can't read the comments. There's a ring light directly in front of them. And otherwise I'd just be in here. Let me see. Militant Farmer, Shitbird Militia, Johnny Preps, Foxfire, Yardbirds, Canadian, Wolffang. Yeah, how's everybody doing tonight? And I have no one to interrupt to just like... Wolffang, how you doing? I don't have anybody here to like help me interrupt. No, a lot of you guys I actually know, which this is cool. I'm just chilling with the bros at this point. All right, I like it. I know a lot of y'all. This is fun. Well, I don't know if anything I said made sense tonight. I have to usually watch these back to even like know what I said. I forget. He repeats himself. It's like, no, I don't remember that I said that 5 minutes ago. Believe it. I did have something to offer about, let's see, we covered prepping, we covered being an edgelord online. We talked about being judgmental and, maybe just keep your head on a swivel. Okay. So people worried that something's going to happen. Tomorrow's always been historically, for whatever reason, they always call it an unlucky day. So, well, our heads are already on a swivel on a day like that anyway, right? So, I noticed with this mainstream media that you guys are so absolutely against. See how they did that? They defocused me. These bastards. I'm going to fix it, though. They're amping up some BS. There we go. Thank you. And so, there are all these suggestions. Like, I don't know if, these guys called for some day of bullshit tomorrow, but it was, from my perspective, it was the media that started it. They were like, they're talking about this Friday the 13th going to be some bullshit. And I'm like, Friday the 13th is always some bullshit. What else you got? But then it's like, at first it was the news that said it, like pundits and guys on the internet were like just talking shit. And then all of a sudden it turned into this big thing. Now, to the point where they're like, watch out because, we're increasing police and all the cops are out and we're watching everything because somebody suggested that maybe Friday the 13th was going to be some bullshit. I'm like, there was another time when they did this whole, that field trip that they took to the United States Capitol there, and that got a little out of hand. It started with just like that. They were like, they're talking about going to the Capitol. Like, you ever see that movie Inception? They plant seeds and then they hope they grow. And I really thought that they were planting some seeds of a Friday the 13th thing and hoping it would grow rather than this was legitimate information that we should be warning people about. I think they were hoping that they could somehow instigate it into happening. I mean, give the people what they want. All these viewers on Facebook, they need something to watch all day. And unfortunately, that is indeed how it works. They made a James Bond movie about it. It was Tomorrow Never Dies, it was called. Good one. I know that everybody in here, fuck Pierce Brosnan, whatever, dude. He was a good Bond, right? He was the best one, not the best one. He was the best one since Connery, all right? All those other guys, well, Roger Moore was a little William Shatner for me. Pierce Brosnan looks like James Bond, talks like James Bond, until Daniel Craig came along, Pierce Brosnan was James Bond. But at any rate, you had this guy in the movie, he owned a big media conglomerate. Tomorrow News, tomorrow. Logo was Tomorrow's News Today. Lo and behold, the fellow was manipulating events so he could be the first one with the exclusive story. You wonder, how easy is that for the people who literally run the show? Okay. Media are the ones with the cameras, the microphones, the production, the special effects, the computers, the technicians, the specialists, all of it. Whatever they want to show you, they can. How much of it do we feed into? I forever ask the question, did you seen it with your own eyes, then did it really happen? I think the question's still valid. So you got to do it keep your head on a swivel. That means a couple things. Keep your wits about you. Keep smart thoughts in your head. Stay, oh damn it, what's the word? Objective. That's the one. Found it. You gotta stay objective. Ask questions like why though? Why? Why is the most important question. It's the one everybody got. Who, what, where, why, and how. All the rules of journalism. Honestly, the only one that people care about though at the end is why. And they will provide you with that story. You ever seen how a thing happens? Smallest little thing. Next thing you know, that person's doxxed, famous, gone viral. We know all about them. Second thing to keep on a swivel is your mouth. Be objective. Keep it on safety. Keep one in the chamber, for sure. Keep it on safety. Don't just go spraying off without knowing your target and what's beyond it. Third thing, keep on a swivel is your thumbs, because those can speak for you without having to use your mouth. Some of y'all forgot And some of y'all talk the way you do on the internet because you ain't never been, or either never been, or it's been a long time since like you got punched in the face. It's very easy to be a tough guy online. It's very easy to be overconfident. It's very easy to be a bully. It's very easy to be a fucking asshole. And I get it. If you're doing it for comedy, if you're doing it because you're angry, just log off. Why would you hang around a place that's pissing you off? Imagine going, all right, let's say Facebook is like a restaurant. Go in there, trying to, I don't know, have your meal. And you got like, there's a table of racists over here. You got like some like woman with her shirt off taking pictures. There's like a bunch of lost pets in the corner over here. And like, you're just like, this place fucking sucks. Would you, A, stick around and contribute to the bullshit? Or would you just log off and be like, you know what, actually, can I just get my check? I'm out. I ask you. I don't offer answers. I'm asking them. You're not here to learn. I am, okay? And if I'm supposed to learn by being able to read the comments, I'm not gonna. So those comments won't stop me because I can't read them. I've been at this for longer than I expected. I guess I'll just go to 7:30. I don't know. We got 9 minutes left. I gotta say that honestly, things bother me, all the time. Shit, but there's a cat meowing downstairs. It's fucking bothering me right now. But what do I do? Do I get mad? You're a cat. Or do I be like, come here, kitty, come here? Which is the more peaceful option, and which is going to solve both of our problems? The cat is annoyed because the cat wants love. Do I deny the cat the love it wants and then piss myself off in the process? Who wins here? Or do I pick up the kitty, hold the kitty, love the kitty? Now, I'm feeling better because cat's purring, right? Cat's feeling better because that's what it wanted. That's a win-win. So when something's bugging you, maybe what it wants is a big hug. It makes me come here, kitty, right? It's a good metaphor. Next time you see some asshole in the fucking internet being a douchebag, be like, come here, kitty. And just hold the kitty, all right? And it'll start purring. That's what it wants. All these angry young men online with such strong opinions about this thing, the other thing. You know what the problem is? They want a hug. They just want a hug. They want to be told it's okay. They're like, but men especially are so programmed to not show like emotion. It's ingrained in a certain generation of us where like, you do not cry, you do not show weakness, you do, and for the most part you don't want to be the guy who like starts crying at the cash register because you can't find a nickel in your pocket. A little much, okay, I get it. But years and years and years and years and years and years and years of swallowing it, looking the other artist, as a man, I gotta swallow, what I just saw, what I just heard, what I just did. And I'm a weakling, I'm a pussy, I'm a coward if I I told you, now you're about to see some fucking hostility. Dudes, I'm not saying be this whimpering cry ass all the time, but, when there's time, when you gotta let something out, go do it. Maybe go split some wood. Go smash on your guitar and play your drums. Put your headphones on and sing like you can't hear yourself because you can't, whatever. But get that shit energy out of you, whatever it is, whether you want to hit something, find something to hit. Go hammer something. Go make a knife. You need to yell, fucking, like I said, sing. You got to get that energy out of you. You end up carrying it around. You become callous. You become cold. You become angry. You just sit online all day sharing, to me, of all people, about, look, Biden's an asshole. You see that? I fucking see it, dude. I need you to tell me 156 times a day in the span of 5 hours, look, Biden sucks, bro. I'm like, yeah. Got me to the point where I'm going to vote him in again just because I want to piss you off at this point. You feel me? All right. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going on long enough. I could sit here and just keep going off rails, but it's really just going to end up not making any sense. And I kind of wanted to make a little bit of sense if it was at all possible. So I'm going to cash out while I'm up. It's been a real pleasure talking to you guys. And, please, I'm not here like crying and bitching. Stop being hateful. Like, listen, in some cases, people are going to get what they deserve. But the bottom line here is, like, let's stop judging. Let's stop acting like we're better than other people. And overall moral of the story really walking in here was, can you guys, like, behave yourselves in the Facebook group? These people are searching us out and looking us up because something bothered them, something alarmed them. And, they're perhaps coming to suspect that their worldview is incorrect. They don't need to be reminded that they were wrong and we were right and, oh look who shows up. Blah, 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 blah. Take it on the fucking chin. You were right, okay? You win. Get over it. They're here now, and let's all make friends out of it. Let's build community out of it. Let's not make enemies out of it. And let's not make a bad name for all of ourselves out of it. They want to stereotype us as a thing. Don't contribute to it. That being said, I love all you guys. I'll catch you next time. Peace.